go live. No harm there. I think we're live with an excellent connection. Is that correct? So what have we done? We've got it. Stream is healthy. There's no data. We got 1 like and 2 viewers.
Will this be broadcast on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram?
Preet has the answer to that. I know it's going to be on YouTube.
And we're sharing it on Facebook.
So the plan is to get the room as cool as possible, then turn off the AC and have better sound when we're broadcasting. Is that correct? Right.
Will you be wearing a mask every %?
Yeah, I think I have to because I've got Melanie and Sindhu sitting right here. I've brought a face shield for Plan B. Yeah, please do. Turn it on. There are 4 people watching now. We've gone up from 2. We've doubled our viewership. Hello. We're starting at 10 o'clock. Oh, 5 people are now watching. Yeah, please do. Usually you can see who's watching. Aha, we've got, great. So ask this question. You ready? You ready? There are 4 people watching now. We've gone up from 2. We've doubled our viewership. Hello. We're starting at 10 o'clock. Oh, 5 people are now watching. Yeah, please do. Usually you can see who's watching. Aha, we've got, great. So ask this question. You ready? Are you ready, Lata? But instead of typing check, I want you to type a question. There are 4 people watching now. We've gone up from 2. You can only type check. Hello. We're starting at 10 o'clock. Oh, 5 people are now watching. Usually you can see who's watching. Aha, we've got, great. So ask this question. You ready? Are you ready, Lata? But instead of typing check, I want you to type a question. Okay, we're starting at 10 a.m., but we should start streaming. Well, we've begun live streaming now, but our original plan was to begin live streaming at 9:45. We're starting at 10 o'clock officially, though. So ask this question. You ready? Are you ready, Lata? But instead of typing check, I want you to type a question. Okay, we're starting at 10 a.m., but we should start streaming. Seems like there's about a 15-second delay. Live streaming now. It seems like there's about a 15-second delay. We should stop broadcasting from the same room. That needs to go into a different room, okay? Whoever's playing that. We're starting at 10 o'clock. Is that coming off your computer, Preet, or where's that coming? Okay. Ah. Vaishnavi has said, ah, great. You're welcome to watch us set up. Are you ready to type a question?
It's not showing up on the task.
Only what you have to be signed into a KC account or something?
No, nothing like that. It's strange. I don't see it using iPhone.
Oh, iPhone. Oh.
Another question.
Okay. Does the school provide refreshments for children? In normal times, the answer to that question is yes. Because of COVID, currently we're asking every child to bring their own refreshments. We currently have 10th graders and 12th graders coming to school. Okay, are you ready to type some questions, Sonny?
Check, 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 check.
Sonny, I have some specific questions I want you to ask. Are you ready? Can I hear myself? Yes. We're all learning how to communicate with masks on.
Check, check, check.
Are you ready to type in some questions? Okay. Question number 1. Will my child be happy at KC High?
KCI's new campus is a hexagonal-based structure which allows students to enhance their creativity.
Question number 2. Will my child be engaged and learn a lot?
Check, 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 check. That is mic 2. That's mic 2.
Question number 3. Will my child become a better person? Question number 4. Do you have good teachers? Do you have excellent teachers, I should say? And question number 5, finally, will my child be prepared for future success? Okay. Chat box is working. I can't really see the screen because of the glare coming off, but it's okay because I know the slides so well. If we need the whiteboard, we can use it, right? Hi, Melanie. We have a question coming from Sangeeta S. Will there be a virtual interview for kids relocating from the U.S.? If so, when? What are the required documents? Great, we've got people asking questions already. Yes is the answer to the virtual interview. When? After we have reviewed the first 2 or 3 documents, namely the application itself, what we call the parent annexure, where the parent answers a few questions along the lines of, what do you wish for your child? Are there any allergies or things that we need to be concerned about, etc.? What are your views on homework? That's always an interesting one to read. And the other required documents, if your child is kindergarten or higher, are the school transcripts from the past 3 years. Right, Melanie? There's a flow chart, I believe, on the website. Is that correct? You can see the admissions flow chart on the website. The flow chart is not there, but the process is there. Okay, yeah. So you go to the website and you look for admissions and you'll see the process there. So we're actually broadcasting live. Do you want to stop now and resume at 9:45, or it doesn't matter? We're starting at 10. Sure. Yeah, fine. Thanks for your questions, Sangeeta.
So when I first came to KC, it was very warm and welcoming. I was very nervous at the start, but I adjusted well and made many new friends.
In Casey's favor, the biggest thing I would say is my kids look forward to come to school every morning, which I think is the biggest compliment a school can get from a 3 and a 4-year-old.
Every single day is still such a new experience and I really enjoy it.
KCI's new campus is an hexagonal-based structure which allows students to enhance their creativity.
I'm part of the food committee and we 3 of us on board and we make the menus on a weekly basis depending on the feedback and keeping the nutrition values in mind.
We've seen the kids grow as well as the school grow, and the kind of community that we have built together with the school, it's amazing.
One of the reasons why we think KCI is a special school are the teachers. Instead of just reading out from a textbook, they actually plan activities and make us do things in class to help us learn the subject.
Kind of tailored in a way to suit the community that we teach here.
I used to think inside the box. I never knew how to think outside the box. And the teachers here, the atmosphere here really helped me think outside the box, and now I don't even know there is a box.
They also taught me one thing that no one else could have taught me: responsibility.
The way of teaching in this school has made me a more confident and independent person, and so far it's been a lot of fun here.
I feel I've changed as a person because I'm more outgoing.
The learning was fun but still informative, and there was a lot more practical stuff like experiments, especially in the science classes.
They're confident, they're energetic, they don't hesitate to ask a question, and I think that's one of the greatest advantages in KC High, where they really allow the child to ask questions.
One other thing I like about KC High a lot is their facilities. Quite frankly, to me, they are state-of-the-art.
Facilities and the experience I've had till date is amazing.
Every day I get to see the different facets of everybody's personalities. This place is full of opportunities for everybody.
I do Spanish as a second language, and the effort they've taken to get native speakers to come here and teach us really enhances the experience of the Spanish subject for me.
Happened because of the love and the enthusiasm that the kids and the whole community shows towards the language.
KC High is an open-minded school which allows students to explore, learn and have fun at the same time.
We're all learning, whether it's at lunch or at PE or in class. The teachers are learning as well as the students.
I think the IGCSE curriculum is a lot more holistic than others, and it's personally helping me focus on what I want to do in life rather than doing things like science and math just because you have to.
What really struck me as special about the IB curriculum was how student-centric it was. Even though it's basically an education system, you have so much emphasis on every single student.
I used to mug up things from my textbook directly without understanding them. But over the time, KC has really pushed me to understand what I'm learning.
It's a place where I can discover what I'm passionate about, and it's a place that's changed my life.
KC has helped my passion for art grow because they've helped me get exposed to several new things on a daily basis.
There is a lot of color that is related to KC. It's so vibrant, and when you look into our school, we feel a whole lot of happiness.
Take the new revamped music studio. The walls are soundproof to ensure that no disturbance disturbs the people outside. And there's an entire recording studio in case we need to record something.
What I also like about KC is that they help me with my extracurricular activities.
The school supported me in football a lot. I play for an I-League team right now. We're playing the highest level of football in India, and I feel the school plays a huge role in that.
We really enjoy the game because it helps us bond with our friends. We play with 6th and 7th grade together. We have fun, we get to play with each other, we take teams, and it helps build out social skills and team bonding.
Really change how you think in different ways, because when you play sports, even the smallest things really matter. They have the tables and the badminton court, and now I get to play so many other different sports.
I'm a polo player, and I've played the nationals, and KC's been very helpful for me, letting me go for tournaments which last up to 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So I think KC has been really encouraging towards this, and I'm nothing but grateful for it.
I think what really sets KC apart for me is the fact that everyone here is so open-minded, and it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, what you want to do later on. Everyone just accepts you the way you are, and it's kind of like a family. It's very warm and welcoming, and that's what really makes KC more than school for me.
KC, the way I see it, is not just about knowing. It's about understanding, and not just syllabus, understanding the person, the individual.
I came to KC as a shy and quiet girl, but they encouraged me to have my own opinions.
What I find really fascinating is that in KC, there is no distinction between the 11th and the 9th graders. There is no seniority. Everyone is friends with everyone. And I find that very intriguing and really fascinating.
The inclusive and collaborative environment most about KC.
Whenever you need help, you're constantly surrounded by people, and they're always willing to help you. So that's really nice about KC.
So KC is really home to me. For my kids, it's home away from home. And it's everything that I wanted as a child for school, but my kids are getting it.
ஸோ ஒரு பில்டிங்க்கு எப்படி பேஸ்மெண்ட் முக்கியமோ அதே மாதிரி கேசி ஹைக்கு பேஸ்மெண்ட் இவங்க தான். இவங்க இல்லாமல் ஒரு நாளும் கேசி ஹை சரியாக ஃபங்க்ஷன் ஆகாது. பஸ்ஸில் காலையில் குழந்தைங்க வந்த பிறகு இறக்கி விடுறது, ஏற்றி விடுறது வரைக்கும், அப்புறம் க்ளீனிங் பண்ணுறது எல்லாமே இவங்களால தான் முடியும்.
நாங்கள் மட்டும் இல்லை, பயாஸ் மட்டும் இல்லை, ஆகாஷ் மட்டும் இல்லை, எல்லாரும் டீச்சர்ஸ் அண்ட் அட்மின் ஸ்டாஃப் அண்ட் எல்லாரும் சேர்ந்து நம்ம ஒரு டீம் ஒர்க் மாதிரி.
இங்கே வேலை செய்கிறது ரொம்ப பெருமை, சந்தோஷம்.
What I like about KC is that my kids, and I feel all the kids, can just be themselves. They can be who they are.
To me, KC is accepting and loving.
KC is a place I look forward to coming every single day. KC is more like my family.
To me, KC High is an engaging learning space.
KC is pretty much a way of life over here.
I smile a lot because my classmates are amazing.
To me, KC High is the atmosphere that helps me become a global citizen.
To me, KC High has laid the path to me to become an open-minded, all-rounded and balanced student.
I've come to expect new things every year now, and it's always fun to see what's new this year and how our experiences are going to change.
I like KC from the moon and back.
warm and welcoming. I was very nervous at the start, but I adjusted well and made many new friends.
In Casey's favor, the biggest thing I would say is my kids look forward to come to school every morning, which I think is the biggest compliment a school can get from a 3 and a 4-year-old.
Every single day is still such a new experience and I really enjoy it.
KC High's new campus is an hexagonal-based structure which allows students to enhance their creativity.
I'm part of the food committee and we 3 of us on board and we make the menus on a weekly basis depending on the feedback and keeping the nutrition values in mind.
We've seen the kids grow as well as the school grow, and the kind of community that we have built together with the school, it's amazing.
One of the reasons why we think KC High is a special school are the teachers. Instead of just reading out from a textbook, they actually plan activities and make us do things in class to help us learn the subject.
Kind of tailored in a way to suit the community that we teach here.
I used to think inside the box. I never knew how to think outside the box. And the teachers here, the atmosphere here really helped me think outside the box, and now I don't even know that is a box.
They also taught me one thing that no one else could have taught me: responsibility.
The way of teaching in this school has made me a more confident and independent person, and so far it's been a lot of fun here.
I feel I've changed as a person because I'm more outgoing.
The learning was fun but still informative, and there was a lot more practical stuff like experiments, especially in the science classes.
They're confident, they're energetic, they don't hesitate to ask a question, and I think that's one of the greatest advantages in KC High, where they really allow the child to ask questions.
One other thing I like about KC High a lot is their facilities. Quite frankly, to me, they are state-of-the-art.
Facilities and the experience I've had till date is amazing.
Every day I get to see the different facets of everybody's personalities. This place is full of opportunities for everybody.
I do Spanish as a second language, and the effort they've taken to get native speakers to come here and teach us really enhances the experience of the Spanish subject for me.
Happened because of the love and the enthusiasm that the kids and the whole community shows towards the language.
KC High is an open-minded school which allows students to explore, learn and have fun at the same time.
We're all learning, whether it's at lunch or at PE or in class. The teachers are learning as well as the students.
I think the IGCSE curriculum is a lot more holistic than others, and it's personally helping me focus on what I want to do in life rather than doing things like science and math just because you have to.
What really struck me as special about the IB curriculum was how student-centric it was. Even though it's basically an education system, you have so much emphasis on every single student.
I used to mug up things from my textbook directly without understanding them.
Very warm and welcoming. I was very nervous at the start, but I adjusted well and made many new friends.
In Casey's favor, the biggest thing I would say is my kids look forward to come to school every morning, which I think is the biggest compliment a school can get from a 3 and a 4-year-old.
Every single day is still such a new experience and I really enjoy it.
KCI's new campus is an hexagonal-based structure which allows students to enhance their creativity.
I'm part of the food committee and we 3 of us on board and we make the menus on a weekly basis depending on the feedback and keeping the nutrition values in mind.
We've seen the kids grow as well as the school grow, and the kind of community that we have built together with the school, it's amazing.
One of the reasons why we think KCI is a special school are the teachers. Instead of just reading out from a textbook, they actually plan activities and make us do things in class to help us learn the subject.
Kind of tailored in a way to suit the community that we teach here.
I used to think inside the box. I never knew how to think outside the box. And the teachers here, the atmosphere here really helped me think outside the box, and now I don't even know that it's a box.
They also taught me one thing that no one else could have taught me: responsibility.
The way of teaching in this school has made me a more confident and independent person, and so far it's been a lot of fun here.
I feel I've changed as a person because I'm more outgoing.
The learning was fun but still informative, and there was a lot more practical stuff like experiments, especially in the science classes.
They're confident, they're energetic, they don't hesitate to ask a question, and I think that's one of the greatest advantages in KC High, where they really allow the child to ask questions.
One other thing I like about KC High a lot is their facilities. Quite frankly, to me, they are state of the art.
Facilities and the experience I've had till date is amazing.
Every day I get to see the different facets of everybody's personalities. This place is full of opportunities for everybody.
I do Spanish as a second language, and the effort they've taken to get native speakers to come here and teach us really enhances the experience of the Spanish subject for me.
Happens because of the love and the enthusiasm that the kids and the whole community shows towards the language.
KC High is an open-minded school which allows students to explore, learn and have fun at the same time.
And we're all learning, whether it's at lunch or at PE or in class. The teachers are learning as well as the students.
I think the IGCSE curriculum is a lot more holistic than others, and it's personally helping me focus on what I want to do in life rather than doing things like science and math just because you have to.
What really struck me as special about the IB curriculum was how student-centric it was. Even though it's basically an education system, you have so much emphasis on every single student.
I used to mug up things from my textbook directly without understanding them. But over the time, KC has really pushed me to understand what I'm learning.
It's a place where I can discover what I'm passionate about, and it's a place that's changed my life.
KC has helped my passion for art grow because they've helped me get exposed to several new things that I wouldn't have on a daily basis.
There is a lot of color that is related to KC. It's so vibrant, and when you look into our school, we feel a whole lot of happiness.
walls are soundproof to ensure that no is outside. Recording studio reports.
About KC is that they help activate my
The school supported me in football a lot. I play for an I-League team right now. We're playing the highest level of football in India, and I feel the school plays a huge role in that.
We really enjoy the game because it helps us bond with our friends. We play with 6th and 7th grade together. We have fun, we get to play with each other, we pick teams, and it helps build out social skills and team bonding.
Really change how you think in different ways, because when you play sports, even the smallest things really matter.
They have the TV tables and the badminton court, and now I get to play so many other different sports.
I'm a polo player and I've played the nationals, and KC has been very helpful for me, letting me go for tournaments which last up to 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So I think KC has been really encouraging towards this, and I'm nothing but grateful for it.
I think what really sets KC apart for me is the fact that everyone here is so open-minded, and it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, what you want to do later on. Everyone just accepts you the way you are, and it's kind of like a family. It's very
very warm and welcoming. I was very nervous at the start, but I adjusted well and made many new friends.
In KC's favor, the biggest thing I would say is my kids look forward to come to school every morning, which I think is the biggest compliment a school can get from a 3 and a 4-year-old.
Every single day is still such a new experience, and I really enjoy it.
KCI's new campus is a hexagonal-based structure which allows students to enhance their creativity.
I'm part of the food committee, and we 3 of us on board, and we make the menus on a weekly basis, depending on the feedback and keeping the nutrition values in mind.
We've seen the kids grow as well as the school grow, and the kind of community that we have built together with the school, it's amazing.
One of the reasons why we think KCI is special are teachers.
Instead of just reading out from a textbook, they actually plan activities and make us do things in class to help us learn the subject.
Kind of tailored in a way to suit the community that we teach here.
I used to think inside the box, I never knew how to think outside the box. And the teachers here, the atmosphere here really helped me think outside the box, and now I don't even know there is a box.
They also taught me one thing that no one else could have taught me, responsibility.
The way of teaching in this school has made me a more confident and independent person, and so far it's been a lot of fun here.
Check, check. Can you hear me? Hello, good morning. It's 9:59 and we are planning to begin at 10 o'clock and it just turned 10 o'clock. So welcome everybody. Are we okay with the video and the audio? Do we have viewers? I believe we do. Is that right, Preet? Okay, great. So we're live streaming. It's our first time trying a virtual open house. My name is Mick Purcell. I'm the head of school at Casey High. With me are my good friends Malini and Sindhu, head of admissions and deputy head of school. Preet is here as well. We have several people in the room, so I apologize for the masks. I hope that you can hear us clearly. Of course, we need to keep the masks on because there are many people in the room and we are still in the middle of a COVID pandemic, which is why we are presenting virtually. Normally, we would have an in-person open house where we get 40 or 50 families to come to school and take a tour of the school. But because of the COVID pandemic, today we decided to try a virtual open house. We will try to speak clearly through the masks, and also, we will try to make it as interactive as possible, so please feel free to put your questions into the YouTube chat box. Is that correct, Preet? The YouTube chat box? Yep. And I see we have some questions already. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Jyoti. Good morning, Renita. Good morning, Vijana. And we've already had a question from Sangeeta in the US. We know that we have people viewing from all around the world, one of the benefits of the virtual open house. And for those of you who are watching from the United States, it must be getting late, especially if you are on the East Coast. So we should try to be brief so they don't have to stay up too late, okay? The general plan for today is for us to give a brief presentation and then to spend about 20 minutes taking questions. And then at 10:45, we will do a virtual tour, both of our campus at Navalur on OMR, and from our Kottapuram campus as well. Then we will have some breakout rooms from 11:20, and we can take specific questions about admissions and the admissions process between 11:20 and 12:15. All right, so let's just go through the presentation real quickly. We'll try to be interactive, as I said, so feel free to ask questions at any time. And if you get any burning questions, please let us know, Preet, okay? So I believe we have the presentation ready. Almost ready. There it is. The photograph that you are about to see is what we call our weekly assembly. Normally we start every week by having an assembly where students present what they learned last week, what they accomplished, the trophies that they've won, what they've learned through their field trips, etc. Okay? That is our, okay, so here we are. We've already watched the school film. If you've been to the website, I'm sure you've seen some films from the school, so we won't go ahead and show that. But the first thing you'll notice about Casey High is that it's a happy school. Is that right, Sindhu? Yes? Okay. And you can tell kind of by the color, the uniforms, that the spirit and the ethos of the school is very much kid-centered, student-centered. The name KC, by the way, evolved from Kids Central, which was the original name of the school back when it was a primary school and a pre-primary school only. So the next slide, please, Preet. Okay. One of the things you'll notice is that our leadership involves some of the leading educators and business people in Chennai and across India. Those of you who are from Chennai will recognize some of those names, and those of you who are established educators in India will recognize that those are some brilliant educators as well. I won't go through every one of them, but I can tell you for sure that our governance system is working well, and that we have a very bright, capable, and accomplished set of people who are advising the school about strategy, okay? Next you'll see some of these are the two main points of our philosophy, and that is that we're trying to give a high quality education to each and every child at the school. And secondly, we're trying to develop social consciousness and social responsibility in each and every person on the school campus. And from those principles, we have built the school. Next, Preet. So there you'll see our vision and our motto and our mission, and also our definition of learning. We are a learning organization. That means that we are professional learners and teachers, but it also means that as an organization we are constantly learning ourselves. We as teachers and administrators are constantly learning as we try out new ideas, and that's just the way it is at Casey High and at a good school. Caring, collaborating, catalyzing the young minds, and being creative. That's our motto, okay? Next slide, please, Preet. Here you see the academic team. These are some of our coordinators in the OP campus. We call it the OP campus for Olympia Panache, and that is in Navalur on OMR. It's about 20 kilometers south of Kottapuram, which is where our pre-primary campus, our pre-primary campus, our larger pre-primary program is at Kottapuram. All right, next. Do we have any questions yet, Preet? Just some good morning and all of that? All right, we'll go on. We'll try to be done with this presentation in about 15 or 20 minutes. There you see our academic coordinators at the pre-primary campus at Ranjit Road in Kottapuram. And next slide, please, Preet. So here's a bit about the history of the school. Cindy, would you like to say something? No? Yes?
Sure. So the school started off as an after-school program. So when Bali returned from the US, she wanted to give back, to the children here. And what began in a very small home setting as an after-school program is now a full-fledged school. We saw our first batch graduating this year, 2020, last year, yes.
Yes, as Sindhu said, our school started in Valley. Subaya, our founder, returned from the United States where she was studying education at Tufts University and at Harvard in Boston. And she had been working in some really progressive schools, primary schools there. And she thought to herself, I really want to bring back some of these ideas and start something new and fresh in Chennai. So she came back, somehow she got Sindhu involved, and they built this school one room at a time. And they started with the young ones. And from there, it grew up mainly because the parents loved the school and they kept asking at the end of each year, please can you add second grade next year? And then the year after they would ask, please can you add third grade next year? And eventually the school got to the point where it could no longer be just this little operation out of Valley's auntie's house. And if we were going to become a full-fledged K through 12 or pre-K through 12 school, we would need soccer fields and science labs and all of that. So Valley went to the school community and she said, are you going to support us if we want to build a full school? And the community gave her a resounding yes, we'll support you. Whatever it takes, whatever it costs, please let's continue this project. And that's how we became a high school. And as Sindhu said, we graduated our first batch in 2020. And they've all done very well. We're very proud of them. They did well both on their IB results in grade 12 and on their university admissions. But more importantly, I think they're just good people. And we're really proud of them. And some of them are back visiting now. And some of them have been stuck because of COVID and have not been able to go to various countries. But we have another class coming up in about 4 months. We'll be graduating, and they're doing a fantastic job as well. So one step at a time, we're building the school, and it's getting bigger. Okay, so our pre-primary programs, you can see from the beginning, I'll just rush through this real quickly, but you can see from the very beginning activities, whether it's fresh fruits or drums or sand pits or sitting on the carpet and playing instruments or science experiments. Our entire philosophy of education is built on active learning, kids-centered learning. What's best for children? What's best for their brains? How do kids learn? We believe that kids learn through doing, not just through listening. So we're active all the time. This is in pre-primary. You can go to the next group. You can see that the pre-primary programs and all of our primary year levels have names such as Flighty Frogs, Bright Bunnies, Cool Cats. The kids love these names. You can see poetry readings, learning how to cook, playing games, puzzles. All of this is a bowling over pins. All of this is a very important part of our learning program. There's a lot of music, a lot of movement, a lot of activity. Keep going, Preet. When we get into upper kindergarten through grade 10, we're using Cambridge Assessment International Education. That is Cambridge Primary, Cambridge Lower Secondary, and Cambridge IGCSEs. When we get to grades 11 and 12, we switch to the IB Diploma program, which in our opinion is clearly the best pre-university program available and the best match for our school community. Next, Preet. Malini, would you like to say anything about the boards, or no? Okay, I will. So essentially, some of the things that make KC different are we really are a fun school. Kids love to come to school. There is an alignment with these international boards that gives kids good opportunities in the future, but school itself is very active. We do a lot of differentiated assessments. What that means is we're not just testing the kids all the time. Of course, they do take tests, and that is important. That's one of the skills they learn, but they also learn how to present, how to do research, how to debate, how to act, how to play, all of those things. And we assess all of those activities as part of our program. Any questions, Preet? Just good morning so far? Okay. Oh, there's one. What are the timings for pre-primary? It depends on the year group, right, Sindhu? But let's just say for kindergarten, right? So that's 8:45 to 12:45, am I right? Yep, 8:45 to 12:45 for kindergarten. Yeah, but here, that's at the Ranjit Road campus. Here, it starts a little bit earlier, 7:45 to 12:45. And they're 8:30 to 1, but yeah, depending on the age group, there are some different timings for the younger kids, right? Right, so if you go to the breakout rooms for the pre-primary, we'll have more specific answers about the pre-primary. That'll come in a few minutes, but I'm glad to have the question. Thanks, we definitely want this to be interactive, so please ask more questions. Next slide, Preet. So one question that we get a lot is about the subject choices. I will say that in grades 9, 10, 11, and 12, we have a lot of choices within the IGCSE and the IB. We ourselves have, with Cambridge, designed a curriculum that brings in lots of arts, lots of sports, but the basics in terms of mathematics, science, social sciences, languages, including English, and at least one second language, we could say. For some of them, of course, Tamil or Hindi or something else will be their first language, but for most of our students, English is the first language. Isn't that right, Melanie? Yeah? Yep. Okay. So in the IGCSE, for example, you can see, I'll just mention a couple of things. In what we call Group 3 or Group 6, in the IGCSE, we typically can choose between economics, geography, history, global perspectives. Business studies is also taught in that group in the IB. We also have art and design, computer science, design technology, drama, and music. So you can see there's a lot of choice, okay? Same thing in the IB. If we look, for example, at the experimental sciences, you'll see many traditional schools do only physics, chemistry, and biology, but here we are also teaching design technology, which is a very popular program, and computer science, and environmental systems and societies. So we have lots of choices. Next. One question that we get a lot is about our blended learning program. In other words, what are we doing in terms of helping kids during the pandemic when they're not allowed to come into school? We have an excellent program where we're combining lots of activities with limited number of online lessons. We're very concerned about too much screen time, so the online lessons are largely designed to inspire the students to participate in lots of offline activities. Things like journal writing, play, fitness, yoga, arts and crafts, music, computing, etc. Both digital and offline activities are the basis of our blended learning program. So it's both online and offline, and we've gotten great feedback from the parents and the kids about the program, but of course we're all very much looking forward to returning to school. Currently, our 10th graders and our 12th graders, most of them have returned to school. That was only 2 weeks ago. We're being safe. We have a lot of safety protocols in place. The kids are wearing masks, they're social distancing, they're washing their hands frequently. Normally we would provide lunch and all eat lunch together in the cafeteria, but now we're asking the students to bring their own lunches and to eat at a safe distance from each other. So we're taking the safety protocols very seriously, and so far, touch wood, we haven't had any trouble with COVID on campus, but we are being very vigilant, and we are hoping that soon we'll be able to invite back the other students as well. A question? Great. Okay, we have a lot of questions. Should we get going? Are there any other? Let's just take the questions. That's what I think. Okay. Great. I see 3 questions. Yes. Okay, let's start with the first one. IB and Cambridge. The IB and Cambridge are the 2 best recognized international education boards. A board, of course, means a board of examinations or an examination board. Both Cambridge and the IB offer a lot more than examinations, so they prefer to refer to themselves as programs or just Cambridge assessment. So what's the difference? They're kind of similar. The main difference is that in grades 11 and 12, the IB insists that the students take 6 courses from 6 subject groups, plus an additional 3 courses called the core. Those are the extended essay, theory of knowledge, and something called creativity, activity, and service. So in many ways, the IB has more requirements than Cambridge. So to get an IB diploma, you must have taken these 9 courses, and you must have a very broad education. Cambridge allows more specific focus in grades 11 and 12. Because the universities want students who have a very broad education, and because the IB has such a good reputation with top universities throughout the world, we decided to choose IB for grades 11 and 12. However, because Cambridge gives us a little bit more freedom to be innovative with the curriculum and to implement a lot of our local programs, we chose Cambridge for grades kindergarten to grade 10. Okay, so that's a rough and very brief difference between IB and Cambridge. I see also how are we recognized with universities abroad, and what about social responsibility and the emphasis of social responsibility through the school year, or only at special events? So Jyoti, thank you for that question. Why don't we start with that one, Sindhu? Yeah, social responsibility is the bedrock of our entire educational philosophy, so it's not only emphasized throughout the school year, but I would say throughout every day and every grade. Yep.
The entire curriculum, while there's a lot of academic rigor, Casey's vision is very rooted to some core values, from being responsible citizens, good human beings, being honest, and all of that. So that's something that's percolated through lessons every day, through role modeling, every minute of the day. But besides that, we also have structured activities which come under CAS, and every grade level, either as groups or as independent students, kids carry out these activities. To give you a few examples, we have an organic garden in our school. So one grade level is in charge of growing all, different kinds of vegetables. And, from basically it's a farm to table project. So from making the soil to actually cooking, and making something from the produce and selling it to the parent community. So that's one of our projects. And another project, grade 7 did last year was something called Casey Cares for Animals. So they raised funds to sterilize street cats, to vaccinate some dogs. We also found a cat loitering around in school, so we managed to get that cat vaccinated as well, and basically to create awareness about, not just the school environment, but the neighborhood, the local environment, how we engage with the extended community. So that's very, very important to us, and we find different ways of doing that. Even, getting to know our own akkas and bayas better, their families, what makes them happy, what are some of the problems they had during COVID. So we make use of every opportunity to sensitize these kids and so that they are empathetic and they internalize all these issues and find ways to give back. And this is not charity, it's about sharing, because we also learn a lot. It's just not about our kids giving back, but they also learn a lot from other kids that they've interacted with, from some of the local schools, and they learn a lot from the environment, basically.
Great. Thanks, Sindhu. Yes, Melanie.
Does social responsibility involve activities beyond school? My question, so Sindhu, the question was that, is it directed towards the exposure of going beyond school? That was the question for social responsibility.
Yes, absolutely. So we're very much involved in community networks and community projects, working with other schools, working with NGOs, working with community organizations. And this is what we're after as an educational institution, is all of the, in education we often talk about something called Bloom's taxonomy, or even as human beings, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. At the top level of what human beings are capable of are things like creativity, compassion, empathy, etc. That's what we're after as a school. Of course, all the facts and information and knowledge at the bottom of the pyramid are important, but what we're really trying to do is to get kids thinking about themselves and the world they live in, their neighbors, their friends, their families, their community, the society, the earth, and how to make the world a better place to live in. That, of course, requires a lot of interaction with the community, so it's a big part of our program. Next question, Preet, was it about university readiness? Yeah, so there are a couple there. Great. Jyoti said thanks for the explanation. So after 12th, so our students are doing the IB exams, which themselves are very competitive at the end of grade 12. In terms of specific exams for specific universities or medical programs or engineering programs within India, we do not train the students for those exams. Those are difficult exams to do. If a student wants to do those exams in addition to doing the IB, that will actually make him or her a strong applicant, but she or he would probably need to spend another year training for those exams, because we do not train students for exams like the JEET. Am I correct? Yep. Is there anything you'd like to add to that? Okay. So we are not training for civil service and Indian professional courses, no. Yes, so we have a, shall I take that one? The learning difficulties, great. So approximately 5 to 10% of our student population requires some kind of extra support because of a recognized learning disability. That might be something like hyperactive disorder or dyslexia or something like that. These are mild cases. We ask parents to be open with us during the admissions process. We have an entire team of inclusive educators that will sit with the child and then with the parents and design a plan to give that support so that every child at KC can be successful. That's certainly our goal, and it's certainly best for every student in the class. We are not able to help students with severe learning disabilities. That's just not something that we have the capacity to do at this time. But with mild to moderate learning disabilities, we do offer support. It is in the form of something we call an individualized learning plan, and it does require a lot of cooperation from the parents. Any other questions? how are kids in 11th and 12th grade learning soft skills? So, yes, I think we've already said something about that, because certainly what we call service learning is an important part of that. So part of the program is what we call CAS. You heard Sindhu mention CAS. And that's an emphasis on creativity, activity, and service learning. In addition to that, we emphasize something called approaches to learning. We are currently teaching that explicitly throughout the secondary school. That is learning skills, things like how to study, how to take notes, the importance of distributed practice, of interleaved practice, how to read a book, how to interview, how to debate, how to present, how to give presentations, how to make eye contact. That's all very much in the assessment of grades 11 and 12. So it's not only an extra that we do, it's something that is assessed as part of the IB program. That is one of the reasons why the universities love these students from the IB. They come into university with this set of skills that will be very important both at university and in their careers. A big part of that is what we call social skills or collaboration. As you saw, that's one of our one of the 4 pillars of our motto. So there's a lot of group work, a lot of teamwork, and we spend a lot of time helping students become better collaborators and teammates. Of course, sports is an important part of that as well. Anything you'd like to add to that? No? Have we got any more questions, Preet? Should we get back to finish the slideshow then? Or do we have more questions? Let me see. Yeah, no, we do not have any, at this time we do not have any tie-ups with scouts or guides. However, we do have a tie-up with an outdoor education provider called InMe, who are excellent, and we send students on experiential learning trips. We've gone across the country several times. We've gone up to the Himalayas. Kids have done hiking, trekking, rafting, all kinds of outdoor activities, a lot of camping, learning how to cook their own food, learning how to clean up, pitch the tents, all of that kind of stuff. Those have been great activities, and we try to do that overnight trips every year from grade 6 now, right? Is it grade 6? We start at grade 6. And I think it's only 1 night in grade 6 and then 3 nights in grade 7. And we get up to about 7 or 8 nights for the older kids. And so the field trips are a very, very important part of the program. And I think even with the 3rd graders, we've had some overnight trips right here at school where they come typically on Halloween night and they get all dressed up and they spend an overnight here and they absolutely love it. So yeah, field trips, even with the pre-primary, even kindergarten or younger, we're sending them to local organizations, to the crocodile farm, to the clinics, to the bread factory, to the milk factory, to where? To the vegetable shops to go learn how to go shopping for vegetables. So really we try to, it's, as I said, it's an activity-based education, and field trips are a very, very important part of the program. Anything else there, Preet? Okay, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time going through all the way we teach different subjects, but I will say, as you look at the science and photographs of how we're doing science, you can see, of course, a lot of experiments and a lot of activities. Same things with mathematics and all of our subjects. So let's go through these slides kind of quickly. You'll see social science. I don't know what happened to the photo of them surveying people on the trains and subways and buses of Chennai, but it's there somewhere. And then language arts, again, we spend a lot of time getting them to actually, talk, communicate, go into the neighborhoods and communicate with people who are Hindi speakers or Tamil speakers or even Spanish and French speakers. We have them communicating frequently with native speakers in those languages. French we added just a few years ago. We now teach it from grade 5 onwards, and it's getting more and more popular with every year. So in the languages, we're offering Hindi, Tamil, French, and Spanish. Technology, of course, these days, technology is not just a separate subject. It's something that we do in every subject, and I think it's very important to make the point that we teach ethics with technology. We teach children how to be responsible digital learners. We teach them the importance of things like safe passports, of not bullying, of being kind online. There's a lot of emphasis on digital citizenship. We use some wonderful platforms there. Without a doubt, technology is very strong at this school. We've really done a good job over the past 10 months of teaching in a mixed online, offline environment, and the kids themselves have become very much creators of digital content rather than just consumers of digital content. And in doing so, we teach them a lot about digital citizenship and the ethics of living in a digital world. So we've been pretty lucky with that, I think. We haven't had much trouble with things like cyberbullying, because we've started from a very, very young age about teaching them responsible behavior. Yeah, of course we have a device policy. We do have students from grade 6 bring laptops to school with them. It is a bring your own device school. It's a multi-platform school. We have some bringing MacBooks, some bringing Windows machines, etc. Visual arts, we're doing a lot of art of every sort. You'll see that on the school tour. And in addition to painting, drawing, sculpture, we also do filmmaking, theater, music, movement, drama. And again, we try to especially have connections to local performers, local arts, local culture, and oftentimes we take them on trips, field trips around the arts. We have a beautiful, you'll see in the school tour, we have a beautiful performance area, which is called our multi-purpose hall. Next, Preet. Our middle school electives is a great activity, a great innovation. The kids absolutely love it. Grades 6, 7, and 8, twice a week, they get to choose their elective subjects, which include all of these different things: chess, table tennis, ultimate frisbee, healthy cooking and eating, tinkering, a tinkering lab, psychology, hip-hop dance, money-wise, how to be good with money, and several others as well. This elective program is really going well. Next, Preet. I think we're getting close to the end here. So just about the sports, it's always a good place to wrap up. We have a beautiful facility now with a soccer field and a basketball court. We play cricket. We also do gymnastics, and we do badminton in the MPH. And we also make allowances for kids who are really good in sports to do things like pursue their passion. Sometimes that means they have to miss some school. That's okay. We understand that these days, someone who has a passion for soccer or basketball or gymnastics or any of these sports, we've got quite a few highly accomplished athletes, and as a school, we try to do what we can to support them. Anything you want to add to that, Sindhu?
So for example, we have a national level swimmer. So she, when school was of course face-to-face, she would come in 2 or 3 times a week, and the other 2 days teachers would connect with her online and support her, and we were completely okay with that, because we did want to support her passion for swimming and her dream of participating in the Olympics one day. Yeah.
And no surprise, she's a fantastic student. anyone with that level of self-discipline is likely to be good at school. Next, Preet. Okay, we've already talked a lot about community service. There's some photographs of the kids out in the community doing some service work, and also a logo of one of the organizations that some of our 11th graders began, 11th and 12th graders, I think, about staying fit during COVID. So they've been running some online fitness classes. They started that organization. Great, sow the seed there. Okay, so these are the key differentiators. I believe it's getting close to 10:40. Is that right, Preet? Okay, so thanks a lot for your patience. This is our first time trying this. We hope that you enjoy the rest of the morning. That is the school tour and the breakout rooms. And if you join the breakout rooms, we'll be able to answer some of these questions. I'll just say real quickly, these are good questions. You're going to see, are we going to see in-person classes in the coming academic year? We hope so. We have in-person classes now for grades 10 and 12. Our graduates from 2020, they've gone off to great universities. Interestingly, several of them chose design. We have one at University College of the Arts in London, is that right? College of the Arts in London. And we have two at IE in Madrid. Great choice, great university, one of the best universities in Europe. We have one at the École in Lausanne. What's the name of it? École. It's in French, and I should know the name, but it's slipped. We have, from the current class, we have one going to the University of Chicago in the United States to study international relations. We've got some that have been accepted to ISDE, the Indian School of Design and Innovation in Mumbai. Fantastic university and great opportunities for them. We've got some staying in India, going to Kriya College, Ashoka College. They've received offers from these places. So I would say Singapore, UK, United States, India, really a wide range of opportunities, Australia as well, a wide range of opportunities, and studying design, economics, art, engineering, international relations, etc. Okay, business, absolutely, business is one of the popular choices as well. There was one or two more questions there, Preet. Yes, quizzes, MUNs, culturals, we do a lot, speaking events, we do a lot of all of that. Student-teacher ratio is about, well, it's really 6-to-1, but that includes all of our specialists, including librarians, music teachers, PE teachers, learning support specialists, inclusive educators, etc. So the maximum class size is 25. Most of our classes are around 18 to 20, and they have 2 homeroom teachers at a time. So the average student-to-teacher ratio would be about 9 or 10 to 1, in my opinion. Okay? Any other questions there? Yeah, I think we will try to answer your questions in the breakout rooms. It's time for the school tour. Thanks a lot for all the questions. I really appreciate them. And I hope you enjoyed the school tour. And we'll see you in the breakout rooms.
Came to KC, it was very warm and welcoming. I was very nervous at the start, but I adjusted well and made many new friends.
In KC's favor, the biggest thing I would say is my kids look forward to come to school every morning, which I think is the biggest compliment a school can get from a 3 and a 4-year-old.
Every single day is still such a new experience, and I really enjoy it.
centralized near campus with a hexagonal base structure, which allows students to enhance their creativity.